stuck here. The cops won't bother me. The squids, it's looking pretty nasty out. It's actually getting chilly. Oh. So I did 111 miles on a full tank of gas and I still had 1/4 off. So that's kind of amazing. Now get this. I paid with, 10 cents coins and everything. And then I gave him 10 cents of pennies. And the bastard didn't give me the 10 cents. And I didn't even care too much about going back. But, no, it smells like some sort of barbecue. Oh, right there. That's where the barbecue is. You know what I'm thinking? If a shark boy was born today, how fast would he be able to swim? I've been riding this damn thing for quite some time. I think I got it with, what, 8,000 miles? So I already put like 1,100 miles on it. And it's a really good bike for everyday riding. Somebody asked me if this was a maxi scooter, and no, it's not a maxi scooter. It actually feels like a very small scooter. And it moves like a maxi scooter, so it's got a very good combination. I haven't ridden the Forza, Honda Forza, but I believe it's the same motor. That guy didn't even wave. My social justice warrior post has gotten a lot of thumbs down. And it's kind of funny because I'm not like either left or right, but I just needed to point that out. Those crazy people harassing people eating. I think they were shouting something like, "You pushed black people from here." I don't know if that lady was directly tied to that, but I understand it because I complained about it before, But the same people that were shouting, they're the same people that pushed them out too. Commuting is just so much different than riding in the back roads. I really like riding in the back roads. There's definitely a whole lot less cars that pull in front of you. So it kind of puzzles me that a lot of the biker boys like to just ride around traffic and in the city, because it has the worst of both worlds. You have to deal with cars, and then you have to deal with traffic, people pulling in front of you, and then you're like pretending that you're fast for your friends. It all seems like a terrible idea. But if you're riding just through back roads, right now this is not exactly back roads, but it's just so much better than dealing with the commute. I mean, look, just in this week alone that I commuted to DC during rush hour, which is generally considered almost no rush hour these days because of COVID, I almost got killed, or at least hit twice. And I had a confrontation with a guy in a Mercedes. So I don't know, that's kind of nutty when you consider that sort of thing. It's usually I don't have that interaction with people riding around the back roads, and it's quite the opposite. When I ride in the back roads, I actually have people being nice to me. If more people commuted by motorcycle, we would have more things. For example, bike lanes, motorcycle lanes, express lanes. But people in America, they don't. But there is a nice trend that's happening, is the electric bike craze. But the thing is, the electric bike stuff really only helps people that already have a lot of money to live in the city. Because if you don't have a lot of money to live in the city, and you're like me that lives in the outskirts, an electric bike is not exactly the best way to get to work. Because I'm about 16 miles away from my work, but the problem is that you have to go on some big highways. 16 miles wouldn't be so bad if there was a trail or something close by, but when you're in the outskirts It seems like people in the city are only interested in helping people that live in the city, which I kind of understand, that you help your tribe. But so many of the poor people like me are bussed in to the city to work because you can't afford to live in the city. And the people that live in the city oftentimes are living in squalor, or their parents have helped them buy condos, apartments. This is especially true. This is a dirty secret of Washington, D.C., is that the people that own houses and stuff, even married couples, they have families that have helped them out by buying, or by even like putting down payments on $1 million houses. I mean, I know this for a fact. And I know people that their parents bought them condos in the city, and if they haven't, they've helped them in such a way that most poor people would not be able to have that. But the same people are the ones talking about how white people are privileged, or white men are privileged, which is kind of crazy. It's like, why white men? Like, are white women not privileged? I mean, I can actually point to many things that show that women are much more privileged than men. I mean, just the fact that they live longer, and men usually do all the dirty work, and you know, you can go on and on. Women are important, but let's not kid ourselves. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the scooter. Yeah, the commuting style is a lot harder, and it's a lot more stressful. You know, it's fun in a way that you're like slicing and dicing. But when I saw that van, that actually not the van, it was a minivan taxi, almost hit me. And you do realize that people now are just getting more and more distracted. And you know, it makes sense. People are just in their phones, they're buried. And the younger they are, the more buried in their phones they are. It's kind of a shame, but in a way that was my mistake, because I wasn't paying attention to my mirrors. Usually I am, but I guess in the city I let my guard down because there's hardly any traffic. And because of all the lights, the stop signs, people run red lights and everything all the time in DC. You know, they make it very confusing downtown. You have to know the area to fully understand how to get around there. It's like most cities, it's like an organism. But right now, commuting is easy. But I mean, this type of riding, it's just so much better. I can't understand why guys go to the city to ride when you can just go out of the city to ride. That seems to be way better than the type of riding that I see guys do. It's so funny, the Bike Life guys that did this major ride the other day, they've all disappeared. There's very few of them anymore. It's as if they flew back to Capistrano. They're flying to warmer temperatures. And by warmer temperatures, I mean their cars. It is a hobby for most people. It's not a lifestyle. And I do try to tell people that motorcycling shouldn't just be a hobby. It should be part of your life, because it's the same thing with working out. You don't want to do it and get burned out. You want to do it a little bit at a time, incorporate it into your life, and I think you'll be a better person for it, because motorcycling in a way, and when we live in these crazy times, it just feels like therapy. It's like therapy for poor people. You know, women always go like, man, you don't spend money on this and that, it's cheap. But I do spend money on motorcycles because I kind of feel that motorcycling is my therapy. And women that I've dated, they spend thousands on therapists, and they see it as a great benefit. But when you tell them that my type of therapy is working out, riding my motorcycle, running, cycling, that is my therapy. So why is that such a hard thing for you to understand?
So I want to go someplace where we know somebody who can plug us into the social pipeline.